Yeah, they're definitely playing.
Production, I think if we can.
Yeah.
Cool,
Okay,
cool,
so
cool.
we got Mariposa versus Hobbes. Okay. Peach, Ices, man. We're talking
We're
about
about
matchups.
to see.
This one's a rough one, man. This one of like the top characters. Is this the worst matchup?
Honestly,
amongst like the high tier.
I think in terms of things that people, we talked about believing. I feel like we watched that like shootout of Armada set where it got like the closest it's ever been, and it still looked so difficult that I feel like it made people not believe as much.
Right.
You know, so like I don't know if that's kind of changed. Obviously, we've been seeing kind of a resurgence of Ices, but like it does feel like Peach is set up. Like she's.
Oh yeah,
she's
no,
got
this
a full
matchup is
scholarship,
definitely
you know,
Peach's
like
favorite. But how I feel about matchups now, just in general, no matter what you're dealt with, especially when you play a viable character, all the matchups are winnable.
Oh,
you just have to. Some are always going to be harder than others, and just because a matchup is good for you doesn't mean you necessarily are going to be good at it, right? There's times where I don't know if you've experienced this, Radar. Speaking of Falco, right? There's times where I've beaten the Mars and lost to the Foxes or lost to the Falcons. When on paper, it's like it should be the other way around. So it really just depends on how you play it. Like, obviously, Hobbes could be really good at this matchup. I don't know. Or, it could go like it is on paper. But I kind of think now matchups, especially with how many characters are in the game now, how good players are in general, you're always just going to see, like, more range of, like, how you can play bad matchups and how they're not so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like, Nikki and Slug play this differently, but they both beat Peaches. You know what I mean? Or Lod and Trip play this completely different, but they both beat Ices. You know what I mean?
I think the thing with matchups is like it kind of goes back to that same. Should be able to save? No? Okay. Didn't want to risk it. It comes back to that believing idea. Like I think if you get so focused on like, look, every time I get a grab, man, I get nothing off Peach. It's like, dude, that is not where we want to be. You know, like take a deep breath. You know.
In bad matchups, you got to take baby steps. You really got to just take it like one hit at a time.
Yes.
That's really what. If you overemphasize like getting hit or not getting enough, like you want to be in a good mental state or a neutral mental state when you're playing a bad matchup because it's supposed to be bad. So like, if you get hit and combo like crazy or you don't get enough, that's why the matchup's hard. So you just gotta. I think the harder part would be on Mariposa's end because it's easier to psych yourself out and be like, oh, I should just run through this character, but I'm struggling. And I think a lot of people have that. That's almost worse than like.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I mean, this used to be, so I used to be a Puff man back in the day, and this used to be the kind of Peach Puff was talked about in such a, like Armada was like, it's like 90-10.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like we've seen that, like, it's a bad matchup. It's a very bad matchup, but it's not 90-10.
No, it's doable,
just not.
right,
like, it's just not 90-10.
As long as there's human error, you always have a chance. That's kind of what I've come to conclude. No matter how bad the match, even like I'm sure there's some Sheiks who be losing the Bowsers on net play. Like, it happens. You know what I mean? The most impossible, and what's cool about the scene now is these players have developed these characters so nuanced to where like you can get through it. Like you have so much resource now to be able to learn an impossible what used to be an impossible situation. So
I think we also like because the scene has sort of shifted and it's a little less top down. Like before, I feel like if Armada said something like, "Yo, this matchup unwinnable for Ices," all the Ices would be like, well, I guess that's it then. Like, I guess it's not doable. I mean, if Armada said it, like, I guess that's that. And I think now there's sort of like a lot of players that are kind of like, I don't even think about that at all. Like, I don't think about that.
People
I'm just thinking about winning.
On their own voyage. Yo,
except for Falcon players. Like, Falcon players are still like, it's over. Like, writing little paragraphs about like, Fox is the future, whatever they're doing.
There it is. All right, nice. Yeah, Mariposa looking clean at first. Like she was kind of like struggling a little bit. Hobbes got like some super early down smash KOs. I'm like, yo, but she picked it up. So where does Hobbes go? You go empty stadium or Yoshi? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not an IC player.
I feel like it is still just FT. Like,
no matter where you go, it's kind of. It's going to be difficult no matter what.
I also think, like, my guess would be a small stage wouldn't be great because you're just going to get, like, knocked
down
off.
Smashed,
but then a big stage like Dreamland, like, also might work against you. So
Peach just lives forever.
Yeah, and like she's gonna edge guard you better than you're gonna edge guard her, that kind of thing. So.
Speaking of edge guard, Mariposa's been doing a good job at these edge guards, especially like towards the last like half of the first game in this one. I mean, this is how the matchup's supposed to look though when you play it right. I mean, this is why it's a bad matchup. So.
I honestly wonder about FT here because like FT kind of like it's the great like simplifier of things, and I feel like maybe that complexity was actually like making things harder for Mariposa. And if you kind of come in here and it's like, hey, Ices, they don't got as much, you know, Peach can kind of play her game. Even if it's a good stage, like, is that, I don't know, it feels like it's been helping so far. Or maybe Mariposa's just kind of waking up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A little bit of both. I do think Hobbes, like, kind of lost his momentum. I feel like he's, like, playing, like, not to get hit as opposed to, like, looking for an opening. At least that's what it seems like right now. There you go, yeah. See, whereas, like, you know, I think a lot more movement would be better, but it's kind of hard when you got Peach just like, you know, flow council faring in your face. Yeah. So, you know, I know it's easier said than done.
Good recovery, though.
Yeah, that was actually good recovery. Yeah. See, I like this movement. He's moving pretty good with Sopo, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like, you can think to yourself, like, oh, it's Sopo, it's over. But, like, if you believe, like, okay, what can I get? Like, how can I eke out every little advantage? Then it's different. And you can feel when you're playing an Ices which thing they believe, you know? You can play an Ices and be like, oh, they do not believe in Sopo. Or, like this is not going to work.
Ooh, oh, got to get this grabs. I think it's just start small. The thing about so here's what, to me, Radar makes that's tough. Well, aside from doing that, what makes a matchup bad to me is whoever has to take more risk. That, you know?
For sure.
So whichever character, like, and not even a calculated risk, like just playing neutral is risky. If you feel that way, chances are you're in the losing matchup. Yeah. And anytime Hobbes gets any type of opening, there's been a level of risk there. I was about to say, look, maybe more jump blizzards, not enough grabs. I think you have to grab Peach to beat her, personally. I know Hobbes has been trying, but it's looking rough. I mean, Mariposa's been doing a good job of just like float, get out the way, float, get out the way.
This is what I mean by distilling the game plan, like just playing it positionally, make it Hobbes kind of have to win neutral in a really intelligent way. And I mean, it's like you say about risk, like you could be playing poker, you could be playing slots, and if you're playing slots in the neutral game, like you're like, oh my God, like I really gotta hope for something big.
Right,
or just the payout is not good, you know, like the odds are all messed up.
Yeah, I kind of feel you with FD. I think that was too big. I think you got to go somewhere smaller.
Yeah.
But that's the risk, right? It could be worse, but I don't know. I don't think it could get worse than that. I think
you just go to like Battlefield or something, you know?
Yeah, either Battlefield. I'm still on that. Maybe I think it's Stadium again. Maybe even Fountain. Maybe. You still got space.
I think I heard of Fountain just now. Did I? No.
Oh no, Battlefield. Yeah. I mean, Battlefield's not a great icy stage,
that it?
but
yeah.
Yo, Mariposa though, I feel like ever since like I said, the second half of that first game, she kind of just been making it. She's showing us why this matchup is so terrible.
I feel like it's one of those classic examples of someone being like, okay, I remember how to play the matchup. You know what I mean? Like, how do I do this again?
I mean, flow cancel fair is just so good. You're guaranteed to get damage. And down smash is really good. Like, a lot of Peach's moves just interrupt Icy's movement and follow-up. So it's hard to get anything concrete with Icy's in this match, especially because, like I said, Graph is just really risky in this matchup compared to, say, like Icy's Sheik or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the reward is so much worse, right? Like, you're just not getting the same stuff that you were.
And I'll say the biggest thing is one of the things that makes Icy so good is the ability to crouch. And this character destroys you for doing that. So just crouching makes it tough. Or not being able to crouch versus Peach makes it tough.
You know what I think is a big thing that I think is missing here is that, like, I remember talking with Nikki about this. And Nikki pointed out that, like, there's some matchups where grab is really, really strong.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can make it so that Icy's players, like, only think about the grab when they actually have, like, really strong smash attacks, really strong aerials.
That's true.
And he has talked about, like, say, playing tough or something where it's like, you're not really grabbing that much at all. And, like, you don't need to stress about that. That's not a terrible thing. Like, you're just hitting them with smash attacks, you're hitting them with the big, beefy back airs. I feel like Hobbes has been kind of getting these grabs, getting 10%, and then being like, I'm cooked, it's over. And it's like, no.
If you can't, like, you can out neutral. It'll be hard, but you definitely can do it.
You got to play to your strengths, right?
Yeah,
like, it's like if your strengths aren't there, like, you know, like it's no wonder things aren't working. And I think like some of that's the matchup, some things the stuff you can't change, but like you got to focus on the thing that you can do.
Yeah, for sure. He's been trying. I think he's picking it up though. I think this game is better than the last one for sure.
It is.
This should be a KO, right? Oh no, I don't know if she SDI'd out of that or he just messed up.
It was a bit of both.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's the thing. CC is just it's tough versus Peach, man. And I think that's what makes it so hard for ICs. But it's doable, though. Like, I don't think this matchup is, like, out the realm of possibility. I mean, we've seen all the ICs. The greatest ICs have all done this. But Mariposa, yo, she's out here, bro.
Yeah. I think it comes down to just, yeah, I really think switching up the game. Like, I feel like some of this comes down to a lot of matchups. You play the same with the character, and then every once in a while you'll play a matchup where you have to play very, very differently, and it feels like Hobbes isn't kind of adapted to that difference yet, where it's like, okay, hey, like, you know, like maybe you don't get as much off the grab. Here, this is a big situation. But yeah, dropping it too.
Yeah. Okay, nice blizzard. Yeah, that's like the old school down throw down there. Hey, Mariposa though, I mean, she's just one stock away from just
yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think she played this as good as you can. I mean, that's how it's supposed to look when you're playing it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, you can really tell when someone's got a game plan and it's just like space and aerials that are like low lag, spamming moves that are hard for them to deal with, like a lot of good like stage control and corner pressure.
And the push block on the on Peach's areas was so good. So even when you come down, you're basically safe. So shout out to Mariposa with the 30 piece. I mean, shout out to Hobbes though. I think it's something to look back in the drawing board. Like, I don't think he necessarily played bad. It's just the matchup, you know.
Yeah.
Matchup is just right. I don't know about the FD pick. Probably was the optimal pick, but he just didn't play it right there. But yeah, I would definitely look at this and like, you know, congregate with my fellow ICers and see.
That's what I think it is looking at like what are they doing well. Like when the matchup looks good, what's different?
Yeah, what changes for sure. But yeah, that was a good set.
Because like you can kind of like matchups are kind of like a recipe or a cocktail. Like you can change up with the ratios a bit and it like look very different.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's
the
true.
taste
add a little
changes.
bit more spice,
exactly.
Add a little more sugar
like
here,
and
add a little more, you know.
Sometimes people like make it too complicated. Like it can literally be like, hey, a little bit more of that, a little bit less of this.
It's like you ever see people who make those gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches and like I'm sure they're good, but I'm like, bro, it's just. I was watching Gordon Ramsay make one and it looked crazy to me. I'm like, bro, just get bread and cheese and like. Toasted, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like, to me, maybe that was just not that complicated.
It's not as complicated as you think it is, you know? Like,
it's like, bro, I made that type of sandwich since I was a kid, just, you know, mad easy. But, you know, hey, sometimes you can go a little gourmet, but, yeah, like you said, especially when you're just trying to get the job done.
Yes.
You just want to just do the most simple thing.
Yeah, and, like, do that simple thing well and consistently. Like, I think sometimes we've seen historically in Melee, people, like, they're really focusing on the gourmet grilled cheese kind of thing. Like they're like, how can I go from getting 6% to 8%? And you're like, I think you're thinking about this way wrong.
Right.
You know, how can you make more sandwiches? You know, like
just get the hit off stage. It's kind of like you ever meal prep. You're not like you're meal prepping for the week. You're not trying to make the most fancy meal. You're like, look, I just need to get through like Monday through Thursday, like without thinking about how I'm gonna eat. So I'm just about to bulk. You know, that's kind of how I feel like.
I mean, it's like anything overcomplicating. Like if you're trying to work out or something, like you do not need to be like min-maxing every exercise. Just like go, you know, 3
just
times a week.
Going to the gym is enough.
Move your body, you know, like, and I think in a matchup, it's like, are you winning neutral? When you hit him, do you get 10% or 20? Like,